Everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Garima Singh signing in for today's video. In this video, we'll be doing the very first chapter of our macroeconomics of our class 12. As the name suggests, Introduction to Macroeconomics. It means we'll be understanding the concept, what is macroeconomics, what are the different topics covered by macro as a branch of economics. Coming to the meaning, let's first understand what do the word macro means. When we talk about English language, macro, M-A-C-R-O, it means macro when we are talking in terms of our English language. But when we talk about the origin of this word, भाई कहाँ से आया है ये शब्द निकल के? This origin comes from the Greek word macro, M-A-K-R-O, okay, which means large. Okay, so here we'll talk about on a large scale as an economy as a whole की बात करेंगे हम. Okay, so similarly the word macroeconomics, जब हम माइक्रो की बात करते हैं, माइक्रो क्या करती थी? माइक्रो इंडिविजुअल लेवल या छोटी यूनिट्स के बारे में बात करती है. मैक्रो क्योंकि हमें पता है लार्ज है इसका मीनिंग, therefore it will talk about the economy as a whole. अब हम पूरे नेशन की बात करेंगे, हमारे किसी भी एक नेशन के बारे में, तो पूरे एज अ होल कंसेप्ट ऑफ नेशन के बारे में बात करेंगे, विल से मैक्रो इकोनॉमी. ओके, therefore macroeconomics studies the welfare of all the residents of a nation. Okay, when I say resident means the one who resides in a nation, जो किसी भी देश में रह रहे हैं, plus the economic interest also lies in that nation. साथ ही साथ उनका इकोनॉमिक इंटरेस्ट, इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी क्या है? कोई भी एक्टिविटी जिससे उनको इनकम होगी. ओके, सो उनकी इकोनॉमिक इंटरेस्ट ऑफ एक्टिविटी भी उसी देश में लाई करती है, देयरफॉर दे विल बी कॉल्ड द रेजिडेंट. एंड मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स क्या है? इट स्टडीज द वेलफेयर ऑफ ऑल द रेजिडेंट ऑफ द नेशन ऑन अ लार्ज स्केल. Let's understand first the difference between the micro and the macroeconomics as a branch of economics. Okay, so micro is something that you have already studied in class 11th and you have a clear idea. So we'll be comparing both the part of economics so that you have a clear idea what is macroeconomics all about. Okay, the number one point here is we'll take the basis of study. मतलब किस चीज के बारे में ये पढ़ाई करती है. Okay, when we say about microeconomics, it talks about the scarcity choice at individual level, household level, industry or a firm. Okay, ये किसकी बात करेगी? प्रॉब्लम ऑफ चॉइस हमने पढ़ा ना, सेंट्रल प्रॉब्लम ऑफ चॉइस हमारी इकोनॉमी में रहती है इन आवर क्लास 11th. देयरफॉर हम चॉइस की तब इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे बात करेंगे, भाई किसी इंडिविजुअल के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, किसी हाउस होल्ड के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, किसी पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री या छोटी फर्म के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, तो वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट माइक्रो लेवल. ओके, वेयर एज when we talk about economy as a whole, पूरे नेशन की, पूरे देश की एक साथ बात करेंगे, it means we are talking about the macro level. Now let me give you one example so that the idea is very clear to you all. If I say, for example, I am an individual, I am a consumer. Okay, मैं क्या चीज कंज्यूम करूंगी? Within my given income, I'll consume limited resources from the economy, which will maximize my satisfaction. Therefore, when we are talking about the smaller level or at an individual level, we are talking about the micro level. Whereas, if I say, how are my national resources chosen? For example, defense goods are produced to keep all the citizens safe in the country. All the consumer goods are produced at a mass level so that the need of the people are satisfied in a nation. It means I am talking on a large scale here. Okay, therefore I am talking about the macro level. Okay, because here I am considering the welfare of all the citizens or all the resident of the nation. It is talking about the macro level. Talking about the second factor here, which will define the major difference here, is the economic variable. It means who are the variables, which are the factors which will define whether it is at micro level or it is at macro level. Okay, सो इकोनॉमिक वेरिएबल की जब हम बात करते हैं एट माइक्रो लेवल, इट इज द कंज्यूमर डिमांड एंड सप्लाई। एक इंडिविजुअल, हाउस होल्ड और कंज्यूमर और एन इंडिविजुअल और ए फर्म और एन इंडस्ट्री, उसकी डिमांड और सप्लाई की बात करेंगे। इट मीन्स वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द माइक्रो लेवल। ओके, छोटा लेवल है। Whereas when we talk about the aggregate demand and aggregate supply, which means जब हम टोटल पूरी डिमांड और पूरी सप्लाई ऑफ अ नेशन की बात करेंगे, दैट विल बी आवर मैक्रो लेवल। एग्जाम्पल, हियर आई हैव गिवन द सेम in simpler words. Micro level we talk about the individual demand and supply thing, whereas when we talk about the total of all the goods and services as a whole or as a nation or a concept of a country, when we talk about, it is our macro level. Coming on to the third factor here is economic agents. Agents कौन है, मतलब कौन काम करेगा। Okay, so when we talk about the micro level, it is the individual or the institution. ओके, माइक्रो लेवल मतलब तुम खुद के लिए काम करोगे ना। माइक्रो लेवल पे हम इंडिविजुअल की बात करते हैं। देयरफॉर यहाँ एक कोई पर्टिकुलर इंडिविजुअल होगा या कोई पर्टिकुलर इंस्टीट्यूशन काम कर रहा होगा फॉर व्हाट, विद द एम ऑफ मैक्सिमाइजेशन ऑफ प्रॉफिट। ओके, देयरफॉर दे विल फोकस ओनली ऑन देयर पर्सनल ग्रोथ। उनको बस ये होगा भी हम ग्रो करें, नो मैटर व्हाट अदर पीपल आर डूइंग। देयरफॉर यहाँ एम क्या रहता है माइक्रो लेवल पे, मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट ऑफ एन इंडिविजुअल। ओके, इंडिविजुअल मतलब माइक्रो लेवल। Whereas when we talk about the macro level, here are the agents are the government or the state or the statutory bodies, okay, made by the government only. Therefore they work here, इनका aim क्या है, social welfare maximization, maximization of social welfare, लोगों का भला होना चाहिए। Therefore they will focus on the concept of the nation or the country as a whole together. Okay, coming on to the fourth point, which is about the degree of aggregation. When I say aggregation, it means the sum total. Okay, when I talk about the micro level, okay, here we have limited degree of aggregation. Why did I say limited degree? It is because I am considering a particular sector, a particular firm or a particular industry at an individual level, okay, producing a common commodity. Okay, जब मुझे यहाँ इक्विलिब्रियम निकालना होगा माइक्रो लेवल पे, आई विल बी कंसिडरिंग अ पर्टिकुलर फर्म और अ इंडस्ट्री। यहाँ भी एग्रीगेट होते हैं माइक्रो में, लेकिन किनके एग्रीगेट, किनका सम टोटल करेंगे, ऑफ ऑल द फर्म्स प्रोड्यूसिंग द सेम कमोडिटी। ओके, whereas when we talk about the macro level, here the degree of aggregation is not limited. Why not limited? Because here we take the aggregate of or the sum total of all the unit in the economy. Separately we'll go and consider agriculture sector first, then on to the industrial sector and then on the service sector. So separately first we'll see and then we'll make the sum total of all the goods and services, which will give us the aggregate of all the units at macro level. Whereas in micro we were talking about a particular industry or a particular sector. Okay, next point is there are different set of assumptions. Like in my very first video when I posted for class 11, I have shared some of the basic concept of economics which are again and again repeated. This word assumption I have explained several times. I'll explain it one more time here so that the idea of assumption is clear to you all. Assumption is something that we take or we consider some factors constant in order to prove our economic theory. Okay, therefore assumptions दोनों लेवल पे अलग है। कैसे? जो हम वेरिएबल को कांस्टेंट मतलब उसमें कोई चेंज नहीं होगा, जिस वेरिएबल को हम माइक्रो लेवल पे कांस्टेंट एज्यूम करते हैं, इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी दैट विल be the same at the macro level. Okay, let me give you one example here. For example, when I talk about the micro level, okay, we assume the total output and the employment to be constant. भाई total output और employment में कोई change नहीं आएगा। जब हम micro level पे बात कर रहे हैं तो हम individual की बात कर रहे हैं। Okay, तो हम total output और employment को constant consider करते हैं, लेकिन similarly when we talk about the macro level, okay, मैक्रो लेवल में दीज आर दी सम वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वेरिएबल्स विच आर नॉट टेकन एज कांस्टेंट, हम इनको कांस्टेंट नहीं लेते हैं, वेयर एज एट मैक्रो लेवल what we take constant, that distribution of income, okay, how people are consuming, these are the factors that we assume constant at macro level. तो भैया आपको समझ में आया होगा कि डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ assumptions हैं, अलग अलग चीजें दोनों लेवल पे हम assume करते हैं so that we can justify the economic theory. Okay, talking about the next point here is the central issues. When we talk about the micro level, what are the issues that we consider here? Are the allocation of resources, the distribution of resources. Whereas when we talk about the macro level, here we talk about the how much the total output is produced, how much people are employed. Okay, the total number of employed people or the total employment or the total output that is being produced in the economy. Okay, coming on to the next point, which is about the method of study. Here are two important concepts. Listen to it very carefully. In micro level, we talk about the partial equilibrium analysis. When I say partial, मतलब मैं एक ही यूनिट या at an individual level की बात कर रही हूँ. So partial equilibrium means I am talking about a particular level. Okay, जहाँ जब मेरा equilibrium achieve करूँगी, equilibrium is what? My stable condition where price is determined and the quantity of the goods are also known. Okay, so here the equilibrium will be in one market without changing or having any effect on other type of market in the economy. Whereas when we talk about the macro level, we talk about the journal equilibrium analysis. Journal equilibrium analysis मतलब हम simultaneously सारी मार्केट के इक्विलिब्रियम को कंसीडर करेंगे, विल कंसीडर साइमल्टेनियस इक्विलिब्रियम इन ऑल द मार्केट्स ऑफ द इकोनॉमी. इफ देयर इज अ चेंज इन वन, इट विल लीड टू द चेंज इन अनदर. ओके, नाउ द लास्ट पॉइंट हियर इज द माइक्रो मैक्रो पैराडॉक्स. इट मींस व्हाट इज लॉजिकल एट माइक्रो लेवल मे नॉट बी लॉजिकल एट द मैक्रो लेवल. जो माइक्रो लेवल पे हमें सही लगेगा जरूरी नहीं है वो लॉजिक हमारा मैक्रो लेवल पे चलेगा, क्योंकि एट माइक्रो लेवल वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द स्मॉलर यूनिट्स, whereas at macro level we are considering the economy as a whole. Okay, so let me give you one example so that the idea is clear. When an individual starts saving his money, okay, जैसे अगर मैं पैसों की सेविंग करती हूँ तो वो सेविंग मुझे इन फ्यूचर it will help me, it will add to my future prosperity, कल को मुझे मदद मिलेगी. Okay, this is what at the micro level, at an individual level और smaller unit पे. Okay, whereas अगर सब लोग सोचने ऐसे लग जाए नेशन में कि we should save more and spend less, will the economy function? No. अगर सब लोग सेविंग करेंगे तो प्रोडक्ट कंजम्पशन कम होगी, कंजम्पशन कम है तो उनको पैसा वापस नहीं जाएगा, देयरफॉर आगे इन्वेस्टमेंट कम हो जाएगी, इन्वेस्टमेंट कम है तो प्रोडक्शन एंड एम्प्लॉयमेंट का लेवल कम हो जाएगा, एंड दिस विल लीड टू दी पॉवर्टी इन फ्यूचर. देखा आपने, जो हमारे माइक्रो पे हमें काम किया, सेविंग का कॉन्सेप्ट लॉजिकल था, whereas when we came to the macro level वही सेविंग का कॉन्सेप्ट इलॉजिकल हो गया. Therefore this is called the micro macro paradox. After understanding the meaning and the difference between micro and macroeconomics, now let's understand the scope of macroeconomics. Whenever I say scope, it means what are the areas this macroeconomics will study. Okay, so number one thing here is, as I've explained in my syllabus video also, when I briefly explain the syllabus of our macro and Indian economic development book, this is the same only. Okay, the area of study which macroeconomics covers is number one, estimation of national income. NY is national and Y here stand for income. भाई नेशनल इनकम कैसे कैलकुलेट होगी, कितनी है, और उसके हिसाब से कंट्रीज को हम कंपेयर कर सकते हैं एंड द रिलेटेड एग्रीगेट. अब नेशनल इनकम को से हम क्या क्या चीज फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं उसको हम बोलेंगे रिलेटेड एग्रीगेट. ओके, जैसे कि नेशनल इनकम के बाद हम जीडीपी का पता लगा सकते हैं, एनडीपी का पता लगा सकते हैं एंड सेवरल अदर रिलेटेड एग्रीगेट. ओके, नाउ सेकेंड हियर इज द थियोरी ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट. यहाँ हम एम्प्लॉयमेंट के बारे में बात करेंगे, बिकॉज एट मैक्रो लेवल We talk about the total output and the total level of employment. Okay, what are the causes of employment? What are the factors leading to the unemployment here? Okay, and what are the measures should the government take to overcome the problem of unemployment? Third, here we study about the theory of money, how the money creation happens in the economy, how the supply happens, what is the role of commercial bank, and we'll also majorly talk about the central bank of our country, which is the Reserve Bank of India, and several other factors related to the theory of money. Okay, next here is theory of journal price level. जर्नल प्राइस लेवल में हम पढ़ेंगे कि कैसे प्राइस चेंज होने से इन्फ्लेशनरी और डिफ्लेशनरी गैप्स आते हैं इन आवर इकोनॉमी. महंगाई हो जाती है, कभी एकदम मंदी आ जाती है, तो विल स्टडी इन टर्म्स ऑफ आवर जर्नल प्राइस लेवल. ओके, नेक्स्ट विल स्टडी इज द गवर्नमेंट बजट. गवर्नमेंट बजट क्या है, मीनिंग, classification, what all it talks about, what are the factors which are taken into consideration while making the budget, what is the role of the government here. Okay, and the last here will understand the meaning of exchange rate. Okay, how to determine the exchange rate, what is balance of payment, and how will the exchange rate will happen in the free market economy. Now coming on to the significance why we need to study microeconomics, will understand it. Okay, number one thing here is macroeconomics give us the idea or the description about the economy, how the economy of a nation is. This is the idea is made clear by the study of macroeconomics. Okay, like here we talk about the national income, the employment level, and what is the government planning, what are the expenditure and the revenue plans of the government for the social welfare of people. Okay, second here is it also tells us about the roadmap of the growth and the development. It means it tells us about the policies and the programs. What are the policies and programs made for in order to achieve the growth and development in the nation. Okay, third part here is it also tells us about the economic stability. Okay, when I say कि economically कोई nation स्थिर है या stable है कि नहीं है, it means we'll talk about the two policies. One is monetary policy and other is the fiscal policy. When I say monetary means in terms of money. We'll talk about the money supply. Okay, whereas when I say fiscal policy, it will cover all the policies and program of the government. Also, macroeconomics help us to tell us about the BOP status. Okay, what is the status of a nation in relation to the rest of the world? What are we exporting or what are we importing from other nation? Okay, this is what tells us the balance of payment status. Okay, now next is the problem of poverty and environment pollution. It also addresses the central or the major problems of the nation like poverty, environment pollution, what are the factors causing this problem and what are the measures taken to overcome this problem. And the last significance of the macroeconomics is it tells us about the policy formulation. कौन सी program and policy the government is making and what the government is working for the welfare of the people of the nation. So I hope the meaning, the significance and the scope of macroeconomics is clear to you all. And before I conclude, you must listen to this line very carefully. It is why we need to understand or why we need to study macroeconomics is because of the emerging challenges of the economy become evident only by the macroeconomics data. Okay, therefore it becomes necessary for us to study this branch of economics which is called the macroeconomics or studying the economy as a whole. That's it for the very first chapter. We are done with it. Guys, if you like it, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. In my next video, I'll start with the very next chapter of our macroeconomics in which we'll discuss about the basic concepts of macroeconomics. Thank you so much for watching. I'm signing off from this video. See you guys very soon.